This is your Monex Metals Market Update with Mike Maroney.
Good afternoon. It's Monday, March 20th. This is Mike Maroney, and I am coming to you today from the Monex Precious Metals Studio. And this is the Monday Precious Metals Preview. We had a very interesting week last week as the Federal Reserve raised rates for the third time since December of 2015. And just like the last two, we actually saw the precious metals both jump to the upside. Now, if you think about what took place, heading into the rate announcement, we had seen gold drop from $12.65. It broke below the 100-day moving average and traded all the way down to $11.94 on the Wednesday of the rate announcement. Then what happened in silver? Silver dropped from $18.40, broke below the 200-day moving average, which is all the way up at $18.19. Then it took out the 100-day moving average at $17.29 and traded as low as $16.80. As many investors thought that if the Federal Reserve raised rates, it would push the dollar higher and potentially push the precious metals back a little bit lower than they currently sat. But lo and behold, once the rate increase of 1/4 of a point came out, what we actually saw was the dollar drop in value, and both precious metals banged right through the 100-day moving average. Gold hitting a high of $12.34 and silver hitting a high intraday of right at $17.52. Now, what does this mean? Well, one, what it means is that the Federal Reserve is raising rates, but they weren't quite as hawkish as many people thought they might be. And this obviously has created a bit of uncertainty as far as will they stay in front of the curve? And what that means is, will interest rates keep up with inflation, or will the interest rate being charged be way below inflation? And this would mean inevitably we could see gold and silver both move higher. Now, there's also a lot of uncertainty developing here in the debt ceiling. And for those of you who remember, they passed a bill that allowed the debt ceiling to basically be extended all the way through 3/15/2017. Now we're once again in that scenario where we're going to have to expand the debt ceiling at least up to 20 trillion and potentially to 22 trillion. Now people are wondering what's going to happen, because now we haven't seen Trump's tax cuts, his stimulus plan, or deregulation being put into play. So will the debt ceiling negotiations cause some of these things that are already being priced into the market to be put on the back burner? That's causing uncertainty, and obviously that could cause the stock market to pull back, because most people believe that the stock market is currently pricing in a stimulus package and tax cuts. So if we see that situation develop, we could obviously see the stock market pull back, and because of that, rotation into precious metals. So we have a lot ahead of us this week. We're going to see how the government deals with the debt ceiling. We're going to see what's happening over in Europe as far as the political situation that's developing. And will we see the French election come back into view as people start to worry about Frexit? And next week, we could see Article 50 actually put into play over in the UK as the United Kingdom will exit out of the European Union. So we have a lot of uncertainty built into the market. But most people believe right now what we're going to need to see precious metals start to heat up once again is silver will need to break back above the 200-day moving average, which is right at 18.19. And then we could easily go back up and retest last year's high up around 21. And gold will need to also take out the 200-day moving average, which is sitting right at 1280. and that may allow us to go back up and retest last year's high up around 1380 and maybe even go a little bit higher. So we're going to see how this week plays out, but in the meantime, if you have any questions, please give us a call at Monex. Thank you.